Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, or if you'd like, Super Dave. Thank you to everybody for joining me today in the chat. We are talking about number 126, Roadblock and Tripwire McLeod Mobile Armor Control Lever for Explosive Ordnance Disposal, Tigerforce today. This is going to be a very interesting video. Hopefully it won't be that long, but hello, Jeremy Mace. Nice to see you again. Traveling, but thought I would drop by. I'll watch later, dude. Hey, Jeremy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. 610 Yojo Daddy. Good. Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. What's up, Super Dave? At a high school basketball game with you in one ear. Wow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys win your game. Your family wins their game. So we've had a lot of Tigerforce through Classified, and it's basically the redecos of the previous figures that we've gotten in this line already. And so this one is no different. We are dealing with Tripwire and Roadblock. And so they were both vintage Tigerforce figures. And so the Classified line has continued with that. So there are a lot of other characters that were in Tigerforce that we haven't touched on yet. I think these are the last two Tigerforce that we touch on for a while. I don't know if we'll ever get any more Tigerforce. I hope so, because there's a lot of other really cool characters in Tigerforce. But I'll talk about a few of those characters after we do all this first. Let's go into a little bit of the history of Tigerforce first with Dan Klingsmith's series of books. And I've covered this once before, but I'm going to cover it again because Tripwire is on the cover. So there you go. And this is volume 9 of Creating G.I. Joe, Real American Hero by Dan Klingensmith. And so it says Tigerforce. Alternate names, NA, year release 1988 and 89, designed by various designers. When Greg Bernston saw a picture of a German Tornado fighter jet painted for NATO's Tiger Meet, an event where NATO air forces work together and perform different exercises and share tactics, he custom painted an existing Sky Striker jet with a similar deco and presented it to marketing with the idea that G.I. Joe should be a part of this annual event. When marketing saw it, they loved the idea and wanted to build an entire segment around the concept. So then there's it goes into a little bit of the different design of the logo and some of the vehicles down there in the corner, and of course Tripwire and Bazooka. And then there's some figures there, and there's a clue. Actually, I'm going to correct myself on something I said a little while ago. There is one more Tigerforce left to go and Classified, and the clue is in that picture right there next to Tripwire, if you can figure out what that clue is just by looking at that picture. So there will be one more Tigerforce. I made a mistake. So Classified has one more to go, and it'll be coming, I think it's in the 40s, somewhere in the 40s. So then we're going to go into Carson Metaxas series of books. The Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe. This is volume 4, 1988 through 1989, by Carson R. Metaxas and 3D Joes. So then we have a whole bunch of the figures, and you can see right there at the bottom on it would be my right would be Roadblock and Tripwire for Tigerforce in their original vintage decos. There's a little bit of a light glare on there. There you go. You can see that there. All right. So then again, Their first appearance was in Special Missions issue 25 in A Real American Hero. And I don't believe Tigerforce ever got a use in Sunbow or in Deke, either of those, to the best of my knowledge. So this is interesting. It's like a different faction that was in the G.I. Joe comics, where they would be a strike team and they would go into specialized places around the world and they would help indigenous peoples and different downtrodden peoples and so on and so forth, as kind of a resistance force. They would help those people out. In G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero comics in the 80s by Larry Hama. And then in their vintage figures, we have both their Tigerforce figures, Roadblock and Tripwire. So we're going to go into Roadblock first. There, Roadblock. And I think I have a weapons pack backpack. So that's not the actual backpack. He's supposed to have a green backpack like his big gun, Ma Deuce gun, but he doesn't. This is a weapons pack backpack, so it's not the right color. But we're gonna put it on him anyways. And he's in pretty good solid shape, strong, sturdy. And I like all the different variations they gave Tigerforce over the years. They weren't all identical to each other. They all had slight different decos. Some had a little red, some had a little brown, some had green, some had orange, some had darker green. Of course, the yellow stripes and so on and so forth. But they all were slightly different decos. And then, of course, his Ma Deuce big gun. So we'll put that in his hand here. And maybe we'll put, oops, I lost his backpack. That's all right. I'm going to put his other hand on this one there. Well, you can't really get it on there, but I'll just kind of do like that, with his Ma Deuce. There's Roadblock, and we will put him back in his little box, and we'll move on to Tripwire. Now, let's see. I got to get his backpacks down there, so I have to get. Oh, there it is, right there. His backpack. So put Roadblock over there, and then we have Tripwire. And Tripwire has most of his gear, like the original vintage version. So we'll put his backpack. I don't have the mines, obviously. I don't have his mines for his backpack. He's a little bit wobbly, so I'll have to replace his O-ring probably. That's the fun thing about doing these videos, is I learn which figures need new O-rings, and I put the new ones on as I go along. And so he has his mine detector there. And he's a really cool deco as well. Tripwire has a lot of interesting redecos with him. He has this Tigerforce one, and then he also has a Listen and Fun deco and stuff like that. So he's had some interesting deco variations, but he looks really, really cool there. Again, very unique deco, not identical to any previous Tigerforce, just slightly different. He's got the yellow with the black stripes and different browns and grays and greens on him, mixing and matching all those different color variations. Similar to this Roadblock, who had like a reddish brown, some yellow stripes, and green and dark green with his. So both of them slightly different decos, but very interesting nonetheless. So then we have the classified figure. So again, 126. And you can see on that paint, on that photo there, that Roadblock has those stripes across his face, and Tripwire's up there being serious. And then on the other side, we have the target artwork, we have the QR code, and then we have the designations. So let's go into those designations real quick, because we got Roadblock and Tripwire to go through on the designations. So we have ordnance for Tripwire, I'm guessing, and then we have that bomb disposal unit as well. I believe that's in here. I can find it. I don't see it in here, but I remember when we did Tripwire, that was bomb disposal. And then there's some dynamite. Let's see. Yeah, explosives. And then they have the other bomb with the X through it. So they have bomb ordnance and ordnance disposal and mine detection. So that was all Tripwires. And Roadblock, he has Vanguard. He has the big plastic explosive one. Let's see. The heavy weapons. He's got the strength, weight, and then he has the cannon. Let's see, where's the cannon? And artillery. And Tripwire had the minesweeper. So there you go. Those are all your designations for Tripwire and Roadblock there. Terrence Childs. Are there any iPhone patrol figures? iPhone patrol figures? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Terrence Child. I hope that we get Python controlled. Controlled. Those are two comments, and I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about Python Patrol, not Python controlled? And then are there any iPhone patrol figures? Not to my knowledge. So I hope that answers both of those questions for you, Terrence Childs. So then we have the designations, and then we have the photography artwork, and it shows Roadblock and Tripwire at a fort out in the wilderness there. Beautiful piece of artwork, I must say. And Tripwire's doing his thing, and Roadblock's backing him up with the Ma Deuce there. There's a couple of call outs to Chef and Tigerforce, and the Tigerforce deco on the paint with the tiger mouth there on the package. And then in the back, you see an eagle or some sort of bird, a waterfall. You see the McLeod Tiger Force vehicle there. You have a fort up there. Very nice piece of artwork, I must say. They did a good job with this one, shooting the galaxy, Matt. But I don't see any bad guys or any other sneak peeks in the background. So then we have the layout of all the figures in the package. Tripwire and his gear, and Roadblock and his gear. So we have the Tigerforce logo there in the bottom corner, left-hand corner. And then we have G.I. Joe, Roadblock, and Tripwire, and McLeod. Mobile armor control lever for explosive ordnance disposal. That's McLeod in there. So then we will open that up, and we'll get a good look at everything in there. We got the legal indicia gobbledygook there. And then we have their tray, and we'll pull the tray out there. Put the tray over there. And then there's a second tray. That fell. This is part of the Ma Deuce. So we'll put that back there. Put the gobbledygook back in there. We'll close this package up. We'll put it out of our way. And we have the stars and stripes there inside the package. And we'll put that over there. Now, 126, we've been doing all these figures in a row from 00 Snake Eyes all the ways up. Now we have reached 126 with this Tigerforce 2-pack. So I'm going to take Roadblock out first. We've also reached 18 vintage or retro package, depends on how you prefer to refer to it. And we've done 2 60th anniversary and legacy figures. So this definitely is a little bit different than the vintage one. So it looks like they're trying to get away with that brown, but this seems a little more, I don't know, reddish. Maybe it's the same. It's very similar. Yeah, so this is more brown. This is definitely more reddish in the tones, in the color of it, that for the Roadblock, for his pants. And then he obviously has the boots with the the shin guards on the boots. He's got a harness on his right leg. He has a little pouch on this secondary that goes around his waist and goes over his chest there. And then he has a yellow and red tiger striped helmet that goes on him as well. My vintage one, I did not have his helmet. So there's not a lot of Tigerforce in this. There's a few stripes on the pants, then the yellow and black on the helmet. But the yellow and the black on the pants are a little bit covered up. The pants are a little too bright for it, so it doesn't really come off very Tigerforce color scheme. I think it would have been a little bit okay if they added a little bit to his green shirt, but they didn't. He does have those stripes, the black stripes on his face though, and then he has gloves that match some of the green in his boots, and the shirt matches the secondaries on his right leg. So he has the butterfly shoulder articulation. He's got the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees. He's got the ab crunch there. He's got the leg and crotch articulation. He's got the head articulation. He's got the secondary thigh articulation, the foot rocker, the wrist articulation with a little bit of that second wrist articulation. He does not have the secondary wrist up here, but he does have the waist and the ab crunch there. So that is it for Roadblock. He's also got one black knee pad, only one. There's a lot of good, nice face printing on that figure with that paint scars across his face and everything. They did a really good job with the face printing on that. And he has looks like the airborne helmet is what they're using for this. I don't recall if that's the one he used for his original figure or if it was a different one, but it's pretty similar to the airborne one. And we've seen that helmet a couple of different times now. It might have also been the grunt helmet. So let's get Tripwire out of here. So Tripwire is also a little bit slightly different because of the different aspects of these classified figures. They had to use what they had available to redeco. They didn't want to add more money or cost to these figures with this. So he's got all that armor, extra armor on him, whereas the vintage one didn't. You just had the chest plate with the brown shirt, and there was a little bit of gray and a little bit of brown in there and a little bit of light green. So this one's a lot different. It's got a lot more armor, a lot more green, different variety of green. There's a brighter green, a darker green, a more marine green, and then the armor plating on the front has the Tigerforce deco on it across it. And then he has a darker green helmet because his original helmet was a much lighter green. So then I'm guessing that helmet comes off like the vintage, the first version of the figure, the helmet comes off. And there's a lot more deco on that helmet than there was on the vintage one. There was barely any deco on that other than the black goggles. This one has the black goggles, some green on some headphones, and the green helmet, and the chin straps a little bit darker green. So there's 3 or 4 different deco hits on that helmet. So he has also the ab crunch. He's got the butterfly shoulders, the double pin elbows, the double pin knees. He's got the crotch and leg articulation like Roadblock. He's got the thigh and calf articulation. He's got the secondary ankle, the foot rocker, the wrist articulation, and wrist, not the secondary wrist, just the regular one with the extra wrist. And he's got the head rocker there, and he's got the ab crunch. I think I mentioned that already. So all the same articulation points as the previous figure, just a little bit different on the deco. Now the brown looks like it matches Roadblock's brown. So if you look at the 2 browns, they're very, very similar to one another when you look at them really close like this. So they match the 2 of them up. So they match the greens and their browns and stuff look very similar to each other. So then we're going to get Roadblock's Ma Deuce out. So here it is, the Ma. This is the stand for it there. Um, I don't recall if my previous one had that. He had a different one. My first version of Roadblock, this version, the vintage version, inspired one. I don't recall it coming with this version. This is something new for him. So this is new accessories for this Roadblock. And there's some deco, brown deco on the handles there. It's all in black. So then it goes into this little stand like that, I think. Or maybe it goes into this little stand. Let's see. Yep, I'm not sure. There's two little doodads, and I'm trying to figure out which one goes into this stand. No, it's got to be one of these two that goes in there. Let's see. No, that one doesn't want to. Oh, there's a little thing on the bottom. There it is. So there's two other little doodads, and then there's a third one with a little movable little handle on it to keep it so it can move around and be flexible. So there, it's an adjustable cannon there. So there you go, adjustable. So I'm going to put that over there. Put this over here, and then we have a revolver for Roadblock. There. It's a little soft, but it's fine. We'll put that in his holster on his right leg. There. So there you have that. There. And then there's another little handle that I think is part of this. If he wanted to hold this, I guess, let's see, how does that work? There's a little piece like a cartridge with a little handle on it, and the handle is black there. So I'm guessing you could take it off the mod deuce, take that off like there, and then this should go in someplace on here to hold. Trying to figure out where. That's for the ammunition, so it can't be that. I'm not entirely sure where this piece goes. Let's see. I want to look at something on the back here. Doesn't really show it on there anymore. So I'm going to hold that off because I don't know where it goes. But I'm going to put the mod deuce back where it was on that harness there. All right, and then we have the weapons belt, which you've seen this weapons belt several different times with characters like Rock and Roll and things like that. So the weapons feed through here, so it looks like it's like going through there, like it's feeding the ammunition through there, like that. And then there's also a little Tigerforce tampo on there as well, right there. You can see that on the mod deuce. So I'm going to turn this way. It looks like it goes better that way. So I fed that through there. And I think that's it for Roadblock. So then for Tripwire, we have oh no, this is a backpack for Roadblock because it says Chef on it. That's that tampo that I mentioned that was a call out on the package that says Chef. So that's for Roadblock. And it has this black deco on there on the harness to hold it on. So we'll put that on his back. So we got one more Roadblock item. And then that can go into his back like that. And then if you needed to, you could put the mod deuce, I guess, on his back, or the harness on his back that holds the mod deuce. Let's see. Take that off. So you can do this, and he can have that on there when he needs to carry it. Let's see. something like that, or maybe I can go the other way and it'll hold better that way. There. So then we can hold this like that. So he has his backpack with that hanging off the back like that. Then he could carry the Ma Deuce in his hands if he has to. So I'll give him that since he's got a much bigger gun. He had in the first version, he had the I guess it was the gun that came with the Ram motorcycle. There was a big gun that came with that. So they gave it with the first version of this Roadblock before they've done this redeco of it. So let's see if we can get this on here. There, kind of like that. There. Oh, it came undone. Let's see. Trying to get that into here so we would be able to hold both of them with both his hands there like that. Doesn't want to really stay on there, so maybe I can have him hold it on the end, or we can just put it under his arm or something like that instead. Hold it like that. So we'll put him over here temporarily there. And then we have Tripwire. So then we have Tripwire's backpack, which it looks like it's the same backpack that he came with the first version, except it's a lighter green and it has some yellow deco and a tampo of a little computer up there. So it gives you that effect that it's a computer and he's scanning for mines and things like that. So we're going to put that on his back, stick it into his back there. And then we have some mines. We have one green mine there, and we'll put that into the backpack as well. There's the green mine there. Well, actually, there's already a mine in there, so we can't put that in there. So that's an extra part. And then he has his Minesweeper, and I like this new version of the Minesweeper better than the vintage version. It looks much more realistic and stuff like that. It has some yellow deco on the handles and the some of the computer parts, and it's a lighter green than the first version, and it's different color than the vintage one. The vintage one was gray. So then we have a hose. We have this hose, gray hose. We've seen these hoses in 2 or 3 different figures. We're going to attach it to the end of the Minesweeper there. And then we'll attach the hose to the back of the backpack. There's a little plug in there that you can plug that into it. So that goes in there. And then you put that in Tripwire's hand. And then he has his Minesweeper all ready to go. If I can get it in there. Yep. All right, I got it in there. Got his Minesweeper. Actually, you know what? I always put these things in backwards. They go the other way. It should be with the arm underneath. So I'm going to switch that around to this way. So it looks like he's using like a joystick of some sort. So it looks kind of like that. So it's in there and it sits in that arm like that. There, like that. Looks really cool. So we'll put him over there for a moment. So then he has a remote control thing so he can control the cloud. This time it's in green, similar to the original version. So I'll put that in his other hand. We'll just have him like holding it for the time being. There, like that. So he's got that there. So if he has to control the cloud to get the mines. And then we have a revolver and his it's probably the same revolver that he previously had. It's very soft, but it's green this time. So we'll put that revolver in his holster. He has a holster on his right leg, like the original, the first version as well. So there you have that in there. He has his Minesweeper, and then we get to McLeod. Of course, McLeod is a different deco. He's green, and he has the little bitty tiger uh, jaws there. You can see a little bit with my lighting. There you go, a little bit better there. McLeod, and he's in a green deco, so you can put that with Tripwire there, and then there's a mine for him to detect, and then I'll put them on their figure stands. Let's see. Oh, I only have one figure stand left, so I have to order me some more. So there you go. So I'm going to put, I think I can probably stand up Roadblock better than I can Tripwire. So I'm going to put Tripwire on a figure stand there. There. So there's Tripwire, and then we have Roadblock there with his Deuce there. Let's see if I can get him to stand. There, a little bit. And then Cloud, put him there. Then we have these extra bits, which I still don't know where they go, but there they are. So there you have Tigerforce Roadblock with Tigerforce Tripwire, and the Tigerforce line, as far as vintage, is pretty close. I think there's 2 or 3 more. There's a couple weird things with Tigerforce because they've done characters that were not Tigerforce, and they're things that are Tigerforce that are supposed to have certain characters, and I don't think they're going to have those characters, like the Dragonfly. So if we get the Tigerfly, it was originally supposed to include Recondo, but they did Recondo already as a Tigerforce figure. So I'm thinking we're going to get a Tigerfly, but it'll come with a Tigerforce Wild Bill instead. That's just my gut feeling. Now that we've gotten the Arctic Assault Hiss tank, and they have a redeco of a Snow Serpent with that, with a Hiss driver head. And then the several of the dip figures are not identical. Like they added like a Flint. It's not the same. It looks a lot different than the Tigerforce Flint, the one that they did for Flint. They're very, very different. And then we also got Outback, which is a European Palatoy figure that we did not get in the vintage line as well. So there are some differences with the classified Tigerforce and the vintage Tigerforce. There are differences between those two. And there are also Tigerforce characters that we haven't gotten, that we'll probably get. Like, say, for instance, like I mentioned, the Tiger Fly. We'll probably also get the Tiger Rat, which is Sky Striker comes with the Tiger Rat. And that would be a redeco of probably Wild Weasel with some changes here and there, added things and stuff. And then now we have the HasLab Snowcat. So we'll probably get Frostbite Tigerforce, and that will be the Tiger Cat. And then now we also got Lifeline, so we'll probably get the Tigerforce Lifeline as well. And I think if we get all those in Tigerforce, I think that pretty much covers Tigerforce. I have to make it quick check because using my uh, book here, Carson's book, to see what we've gotten for Tigerforce. Let's see. Yes, they were in. Yeah, they were in here. Um, so let's see who we've gotten, who we haven't gotten. All right, so we got Duke, we got Dusty, we got Bazooka, we got Flint, we got Roadblock, Tripwire, and possibly we'll get Lifeline. Um, and then for vehicles, we have the like I said before, we have the Tiger Cat, we have the Tiger Fly, we have the Tiger Paw, we have the Tiger Shark. Now that's an interesting one. We haven't gotten that. Um, and then there's also the Tiger Rat, which is the Rattler, and I believe the Stinger becomes the Tiger Sting, uh, and that may be it for the vehicles that we're getting. So we may get we're getting the Tiger Paw very soon, in the 40s. I talked about that one. That's the last Tigerforce figure we're going to be getting in the classified line up to this point, 2026, I guess, the January 2026. There's no other Tigerforce announced or name only dropped or rendered or anything like that. So I don't know if we'll get any more Tigerforce, but the character we're going to be getting soon is an interesting one. I'll go into more of that history with that character when we get it, but it's a very unique character in and of itself. But the modern era, we got a bunch of Tigerforce. We got a multi-pack. And in that multi-pack, it included characters like Beachhead, Jinx, Action Man, and a couple others. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. It might be a big brawler, maybe. I have the set, but not here. Not where I can reach it. It's in another room. So those are just some of the Tigerforce figures that are in that set, and we have not gotten any of those. We could get a Beachhead Tigerforce since we've got several different Beachhead figures. We could get a Tigerforce Jinx because we've gotten Jinx already. I'm trying to think. We haven't got Big Brawler, so we can't get him yet. Action Man. Now that would be an interesting one. That would be another Palatoy or kind of US, because he was in the US for a period of time. He was also in Europe as part of the Palatoy as well, and his own line of toys as well, Action Man. But I would like to get an Action Man. I think that would be a fun classified figure to get. Kind of going outside the box a little bit. So there's been a lot of differences with classified Tiger Force, like Duke, for instance, came with the Ram, Tiger Ram, which there never was a Tiger Ram before. So that is another new element to the Tiger Force faction. But I think there's still some legs with the Tiger Force faction, as long as they take the time and they do it right and they give a good balance of the deco versus the vintage stylization of the figures. I think we could still get more Tiger Force, and they would look really good in the classified line. I for one would like to see that myself, because I do like Tigerforce. It was a really fun faction, and it was at a point where I was kind of starting to wane my GI Joe collecting, but I did get a lot of those Tigerforce figures because they were very distinct and colorful, and they jumped out with those claws and stuff like that, and that mouth. So I think there's a lot of people that do like Tigerforce, and that's why Classified has done well with them over the years. So I'm curious. They're taking a break on some of these factions like Tigerforce and Python Patrol. They're going to continue probably working on like Slaughter's Marauders and Night Force, and maybe they'll pick up some new factions and we'll see some new things peppered in the next year or so with classified. But overall, I like these. I think they're very unique, very nice. I think they did a good job updating both characters due to the fact that both of them had some really nice classified figures. It would it would add that they obviously were going to be good Tigerforce versions. Some of them I don't care for, like the Flint. I don't really care for that deco. There's also a Haya Tigerforce Flint that I don't really care for. I would have preferred to have gotten a more classified or a vintage version of Tigerforce Flint, but but all the other ones I've been very happy with. I think the Outback has been a really good update to the Palatoy European version, in my opinion. And there's another part of this whole Tigerforce thing. Since we got Outback, there's a lot more European characters that we haven't got yet. That there are figures of. Like I think there's Tigerforce Blizzard, there's Tigerforce Psych Out, there's Tigerforce Tunnel Rat. We could get that since we have several Tunnel Rats. There's Tigerforce. Who else? I'm trying to think of all the Tigerforce figures. Shipwreck, we have a Shipwreck, so there's a redeco. So you got a couple redecos in that European Tigerforce, and there may be other Tigerforce around the world that we have not gotten either, that I'm not 100% on what they are at this point right now, but more experts on Tigerforce might be able to tell me if there are some other different Tigerforce characters from around the globe. There might have been in Fun School some different Tigerforce, and maybe some in Brazil as well, Argentina. I don't know if the Chinese GI Joes had Tigerforce or not, but there's a lot of legs in Tigerforce still. So I'm a little surprised we haven't gotten, but I guess the line plan, they're only able to do so much. They have so many ideas and so many story elements that they want to get across each year, but they do pepper in things here and there. So maybe we will get a redeco of a Tigerforce character down the line, since we got 4 or 5 different options available to us right now with some of the ones that I've named in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Tigerforce, a deep dive with these 2 characters. I've enjoyed talking about Tigerforce because I really like them. So thank you for joining me, everybody in the chat. You guys were kind of quiet today, not too chatty, but I appreciate it anyways. I always appreciate you guys in the chat commenting and adding your part to the conversation. It makes me very happy. Also, I like, after the fact, those folks that are involved in the replay crew and you're able to watch this after the fact and comment. I appreciate that as well. All that goes to help the algorithm. It helps the channel grow. We're getting towards 200 now, so what you can do is share these videos out, help us grow the channel, get to 200, and then get to a nice round number of 1,000 or so. That would be nice. And I appreciate it. Our next video is a redeco of another character with a redeco of a vehicle. And hopefully you can figure out what that is with those clues. It's going to be a really fun one because I look forward to it. And thank you again, everybody in the chat. And this is a really cool Tigerforce G.I. Joe video. So we're going to go with Yo, Tigerforce Joe. Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next time.